Welcome back to For the Souls podcast. I'm your host, Aime, and this segment is called Cafecitos y Chismes. I'm joined by my co-host, Arisa.
Hi.
And today we are showcasing Albert Ochoa, who, if he looks familiar, most people, I think, know you because you brought Kylie Jenner to Sacramento. You took her as a prom date. But he is a pro boxer now. So we're going to dive into all of that before we get into your life story and all the deeper part of who you are.
Of course.
So first and foremost, thank you for joining the podcast and coming and just, giving your fans a chance to see a different side of you.
Yeah.
I really want to ask you, before we get into anything, what made you choose Kylie Jenner for the prom date?
I mean, she
Did
kind
you
of
have a little
chose.
crush
She
on
kind
her?
of chose me.
Did you mess-
No, I never messaged her.
Oh,
People
she just
think
reached
that.
out to you?
Yeah, people think I messaged her or like I
Oh.
paid. First of all, she charges like $1 million to post on Instagram.
Yeah.
So you think I'm gonna pay her to go to me as a date?
So
Definitely did not think you were.
I
Yeah, no, I know.
It was like the lotto.
Yeah.
She was,
so was she just looking for like someone to go to their prom?
Well, I
and she
mean, she said I was cute, so that was a reason. But
Huh?
I mean, she did say that, and then
Yeah.
she said I really liked you for who you were and like how you presented yourself and what you know, who you are.
Was that a surreal experience?
Yeah, it was. It was definitely fun. It was definitely a great time. Now I'm a little bit older, so
Yeah.
we're boxing, so
Yeah.
what matters right now.
Is that your people's?
Oh yeah, that's my
Okay.
boy. It's also my camera guy too.
No,
but
it's
he's
all good.
people,
No
yeah.
worries. Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so that happened, which I think kind of put Sacramento on the map
Mhm.
in terms of like, I don't know, traction.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
it did.
it
yeah.
did, because that caught a lot of buzz. I personally saw it on the show,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, shut the fuck up, Sacramento. I was like, that's pretty cool. But now you're boxing.
Mhm.
So how did this, okay, I think if I remember correctly, when I was looking you up, 2021 was your first pro
Well,
boxing match?
No, so it was because I've been in the sport 2 years and like a few months. I mean, it kind of I got kind of thrown into it, and then I fell in love with the sport, and then I didn't know how fast it was gonna progress, and then from there it's been a great journey.
So you didn't play
So-
boxing like growing up?
No, I never boxed growing up. I was a basketball player all my life. That's why when I made that post yesterday, I went back to my old high school.
I saw
It
that.
was
Rio.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Right
was
ac-
cool.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they knew I always wanted to be a pro basketball player and a college athlete and an athlete in general. But then, the sport changed.
Yeah.
I'm still a high level athlete, so that's what's great.
Well, yeah.
And blessed. So.
Yeah, and the mental fortitude that you have to have in boxing, I
Oh my
imagine,
goodness,
man.
it's very different,
Very
But I
disciplined.
kind of understood it because, like, when that whole process with Kylie Jenner, like that TV show, the whole business side and having people switch up on you and lie to you, and then good and bad, obviously. So now getting into boxing,
Yeah.
it's very similar. The business side,
Yeah.
good and bad. People are toxic. People are lying to you. People want to see
Yeah.
you lose.
Yeah, or people just
Yeah.
want to be close to you because of the position that
That
you're
too.
in.
Yeah.
I would imagine that all the girlies, when they saw that,
No, I
you
mean
had
it's
Kylie
funny.
Jenner
Well,
on,
I actually
like-
never had a girlfriend in high school.
really?
No girl ever wanted to talk to me.
Did they want to talk to you after Kylie Jenner?
After every girl wanted to,
Hi.
but for me, I was so
Jovencieras.
mentally strong that I didn't give myself to anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. That's not me. For me, I'm more of the type that just wants one girl, grow with, and build something.
Oh, traditional man.
Yeah, very traditional.
Dad raised you that way?
I would say, my mom too. I grew up with my mom, and I just always been like that though.
Yeah.
I see people that are just throwing themselves at, with everyone. That's not me.
Yeah, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
That's good. And so getting into boxing, first of all, what even stirred you in the direction of going to boxing?
I don't even know.
When I first met you, you were doing kind of like media marketing.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I wasn't
Yeah.
boxing when we met. Before this shop, actually, like
Yeah.
I was here when the first few weeks you guys owned
Yeah.
the place,
Yeah.
and then it was just building myself on social media, learning the business side of it too, and then I think boxing opened up a little bit after, and then it's been a great journey. We're having a lot of big fights. I'm making a lot of noise. I moved
Yeah.
to Vegas, so yeah, I'm just very blessed.
Yeah. What was the most challenging part of the learning curve of boxing? I know we talked about the
Yeah.
mental fortitude aspect
Yeah.
of it. Would you say that was the most challenging part of learning the sport?
Yeah, I would say mentally. The physical part is just you got to show up every day. I mean, with anything, you got to show up every day.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that was the hard part. I think it was just the mental. So many people want to see me lose. So many people want to try to break me down. So many people talk, say I suck or I'm this and that. And it's like a lot of people. But I get a lot of love, too, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
too. So, that helps. But I never was the type to listen to what other people have to say.
Yeah.
They
And
don't define me.
Yeah, well, good. And I think a lot of the shit talking that comes out of boxing too, or like I see it a lot in boxing. I think it's to build that like you know, the atmosphere of like, oh, he's about to fight somebody. Like, it, you know, it's entertaining. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. But boxing hasn't been the most welcoming. I remember people didn't pay attention to me when I went to the gym. They were making fun of me because I was still fat. A lot of people don't know I actually gained a lot of weight after high school.
Really?
Yeah, I got to like 205.
No way.
Yeah, I just lost focus. You know, I didn't really know what to kind of go with my life. So this sport really did change my life, and it helped me. You know, so
like
now,
it's discipline.
Yeah, discipline. You know, I'm in shape now, obviously.
Yeah.
So that helps.
What weight class are you considered?
147, 145 catch weight. So I'm around there.
Okay.
You know, I lose about 20 pounds every fight. And a lot of boxers here didn't welcome me. That was the funny part.
Here in Sacramento?
Yeah, here in Sacramento.
Why do you think that is?
Well, a lot of it because of insecurities, jealousy, and
It's like competitive.
yeah, it's very competitive.
It's like, if they help you, then it's gonna make you'll get better than them.
Yeah, and I see that, and I understand people have done this their whole life, and then for me to get thrown into it and I already get more attention than them, I mean, that's not my fault, you know.
Yeah.
But I do see where they're coming from. But if I'd met someone like me, I would want to help them.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah, you know, I find that there is, and it doesn't even matter what you do. It's hard to come across people that are really authentic and wanting to really help each other succeed. You know, a lot of people, you know, do business just for the come up or, you know, see that, they don't want you to surpass who they are.
I feel like more people need to come together.
Oh, I agree.
If more people come together and actually helped and elevate people, everyone would evolve and it would be everyone higher. But everyone wants to be like, oh, I don't like them. I don't like them. So let's go this way and this way. And then nobody gets anywhere with
it's like
their life.
survival of fittest.
Yeah.
But
very
it can't be like that. Those are insecurities, jealousy, and that's why a lot of these people don't make it in any sport or any entertainment or anything.
Yeah. Did you peep that early on in your career, or is it something that as it progressed you kind of saw the grit of it? Like, did you naively think it wasn't going to be that way?
For boxing, or when I got thrown into just the spotlight?
And the spotlight in general.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't know how it was going to be. You know, I had grown men threatening me, wanting to show up to my school, jump me. You know, I've been people wanting to jump me, just general. You know, I don't do anything wrong. I'm not a bad person. But everything's getting used to. You know, people think it's all good when you have followers and attention. Yeah, it is good if you use it for good. But it comes with, you know, you're overwhelmed at times.
Mm-hmm.
There's times there's so much intention. It's draining, you know, your energy. It's very, you know, it's good and bad with anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to learn and put God first and really, you know, stay focused.
Yeah. What toll would you say that it took on your family for you to be on the spotlight?
I don't know. You know, I mean, they liked it. I mean, they saw what I could possibly do, you know, and I saw what I could possibly do, you know, looking back at it 5, 6, 7 years ago, I didn't. Like, even when I joined the sport 2 years ago, I knew what I could do.
Yeah.
I knew I could be at a high level and have people pay attention and sell and get those big brand deals. You know, I knew I can always do that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't believe in me, but I believed in myself. So, I mean, obviously, the more you succeed, the more people are going to believe in you. So the more I kept progressing, my family was obviously happy. And just overall, I'm happy. You know.
Good. Arisa, will you turn your mic a little bit?
Oh.
Because it's all, you might have to turn this dial so that it stays the other one, the one up top. If not, it might be the cord. Sorry, I'm hecka. OCD. It might be the other way.
That way, yeah.
Righty
I'm like,
tighty.
this is getting loose.
No.
Like that?
There you go. You're good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so back to boxing. How far do you see yourself taking this career?
A lot of people ask me that. That's a good question. I think, you know, I tell people I want to stop at 30, but then I want to stop at 28. So, I mean, I think that's what I want to do. You know, I'm only 2 years in the game, so for me to make this much noise this right away, I mean, that's really good. It's very hard to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I see myself, you know, no more past than 30.
Who do you want to fight next? Not me being a sports commentator.
No, literally, no. So after my last fight, my last fight, I called out Uriah Faber. Do you know who that is?
Oh, of course, I know who Uriah Faber is.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so I called him out. He knows.
The California kid.
Yeah, it would be a good fight because he's never boxed, but he has fight experience. Right?
Yeah, and he's a big name out here.
Big name. We would sell out the Golden One Arena.
Definitely.
He would make millions of dollars. He hasn't made that much money in his career in general for me to justify one fight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense for both of us to fight.
Yeah. Did he respond?
Yeah, so it was easy to get in contact, you know, so it's just now we're waiting on what he basically wants.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to be the first event at Golden One. That's a boxing event. It'll sell out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to do that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to be the only boxer to ever do that and put on a big show like that for Sacramento.
Yeah.
So everyone talking mess. It's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, that would be good motion for over here.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone would want to go.
It is, like strategic-wise, business-wise, that, you know, and then all the infrastructure that we're having built over here, it's just you know, it logically just makes sense.
Exactly.
Well,
So-
I hope that he accepts.
No, for sure. It's gonna be a
you
big
know,
fight. It's gonna
so
be a big
that-
fight. My team's they're already in contacts. You know, it'd be a big fight. He would want to do it. He'd be stupid not
Yeah.
to take it.
Yeah. Are you nervous because he's UFC?
No, I wouldn't.
Because
no,
Muay Thai and
Yeah.
UFC fighters and boxers, y'all all swear you guys could take each other.
Yeah, well, but that's the
You
thing.
nervous?
No, I mean every fight I'm nervous. You know,
Yeah.
anyone. But I think it would just be a very good for the city.
Yeah.
You know, the city hasn't done that. You know, everyone wants to talk mess about each other, but it's like, dude, we need to all come together.
Yeah.
So Uriah Favorite, we need to run that. Golden One, he'll make a few $1 million, which is true. He will.
Yeah.
And we would sell out. So,
Yeah. That would be kind of cool. Dang, I haven't seen Uriah Faber
Exactly.
in
Right.
years.
Exactly.
Like I haven't. My sister used to do jujitsu at his gym, and so
Okay.
did my dad, like
Yeah.
years ago. But wow, that
And
that
he
would be
did
cool.
say he would beat my ass. He did. I have. He did say I would beat his ass.
Yeah.
So, because we have mutual friends, we have mutual parties,
Yeah.
and we're in the sports. So, yeah. But if he thinks he can beat my ass, I mean, we have to. Let's do it. Like, you know. So.
put it on a show.
Yeah,
Fuck
no,
it.
it'd be a great show. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be a great show. So.
Yeah, I think Sacramento would like that.
Yeah, it would.
I think it's only right. I mean, given that you guys are both
and what other
natives
boxers
here, right?
making as much noise as me in Sacramento? Can you name some boxers?
No. Can you guys?
No, right?
I don't know anybody.
But people know me. You know,
Yeah.
My
people,
dad,
I mean,
my dad's more.
no,
into
but me,
boxing.
I'm very humble. But it's like people like, so that's why for me and Uriah Faber to fight, that's a huge event for Sacramento.
Humble, but you know your value.
Yeah, of course. And
You know
I,
what
you
you
know,
bring it to- what you bring it
and
to.
I work hard. You know, I put God first. I'm always with my family. I don't party. I don't drink. So that's a big fight that I want, and I believe it's gonna happen. And he knows it's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man.
So when you train, this is just like for tee. So you
Uh-huh.
train a lot, but what do you do like in your downtime? So like.
Well, right now it's
so-
technically my downtime.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I mean, I was at the gym today. I mean, the downtime, I don't really I don't party like that.
Well,
I
like,
like being at home.
What's a
I'm
treat
homebody.
for yourself? Because I know there's a lot of
Treat,
discipline with the diet and then
Well, my
training.
favorite food is tortas.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
then
so
like
that's my
a cheat
favorite
day
food.
is
Yeah.
a torta.
But
okay.
what kind of tortas?
Torta? Well, I mean, just,
Carnitas.
no, it has to be carne asada.
Carne
Yeah,
asada.
carne asada, yeah. But it has to be like the right way. A lot of people don't know how to make tortas no more. Like,
Wh-
it has to go. I'm very picky
Okay,
when it comes
tell
to
us,
the
break it
bread.
down.
The bread has to be toasted. It has to have
Yeah.
avocado. Has to have onion. Has to have carrot. Beans.
Carrot.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, like a little bit.
yeah,
Cebollas
yeah,
with the jalapeno.
exactly.
Like in vinagre?
pickled.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
pickled.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so-
okay.
but-
Chiles vinagre.
Then people are doing like the bread's falling off. It's soggy. It's like, come on, like.
Okay, but some people. Okay, it depends on where you go in Mexico, because my dad's from
Oh, yeah, but we're in
Jalos,
Sacramento.
and they do like it's called a esterita. It's like a little store in Mexico. They're known for their tortas,
Mhm.
but people will make them like mojado, like wet. They'll purposely put salsa to make
Yeah.
it wet, and then they do it in a bag too. Have you seen
In
that?
a bag.
They'll put
Oh,
the
I have not
torta-
seen that.
In Mexico, so depending on where you go in Mexico, they put it in a bag and people will eat it out of the bag. So it's like a soggy torta.
Oh
like a
hell
wet
Do
no!
you like
burrito.
soggy tortas?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I
But
don't
people there do it, and me and my dad are like, no, that's not our thing.
Yeah.
But all
We're
my
not
cousins,
discriminating against
They
you
love-
guys
No,
that
it
like
is
saggy
not.
tortas,
No.
but
no, like
a
all
saggy
my,
torta doesn't.
all my primos love.
soggy
They
torta,
love
they
it.
love
They're like, oh, we gotta get the torta in a
You
bag.
know,
the torta
chupando
in
el
a bag.
pan, the pan's coming up the straw.
Yeah,
Hell no.
that's what they do. So I was like,
the bread's falling off. The
no, but
meat.
Oh
I
my
prefer
God.
crispy like
That's
bread.
hilarious.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bread has to be toasted both sides.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Listen, I asked because I'm a torta fan too.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but mine's carnitas.
And
And they gotta be like crispy carnitas, you know? The tortas de jamon I can't really get with. I can't. I'm sorry
That's
to all
good
my
too,
jamon
but-
lovers, but I
yeah.
can't get with the tortas de
Oh, I
jamon.
got you.
Any other meat though, but for the most part, carnitas is where it's at.
Well, tortas is my favorite food, and then my second one is oysters. Like I can eat that
How do
every
you?
day. I know it's two different things, but it's like that. It goes
Okay.
tortas and then oysters and then
Okay.
like pizza and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But
I've
yeah,
heard oysters are like an aphrodisiac.
they are.
They get you horny.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And
They are.
quail eggs. But I don't know if my man was lying to me because one time he brought me quail eggs from his coworker.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, you got to eat like 6 of these. And then he told me why. And I was like, this didn't do
Yeah.
shit. But
No,
anyway.
it's like
I
superpowers.
like, remember like mussels? Those are good.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I might have had mussels one time. But I would prefer the oysters. Like, you know, when you go to like Islitas, have you been to Islitas?
Those are good. That's in
With-
Salsac?
Yes,
yeah.
with the octopus and the cucumbers and tomates and like,
No, it's really good.
those are hella fire.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's a good little protein snack right there.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure.
so, what about leisure time? So,
Well,
that was your
well,
treat with food.
yeah. I mean, my downtime is just I'm always with my family, or I'm just I'm a homebody. You know?
Yeah.
I don't like being in the streets.
Good.
So yeah.
Good. These streets are dangerous out here.
It is,
You
and
know?
everyone wants to be in the streets. Like, dude, go home.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, do you have any more questions for this segment, Arisa?
Oh, is it done? We're done with the segment?
Oh,
How long
we've
was
been
that?
15 minutes. Yeah.
Well, this is a good 15 minutes.
Oh,
That was a good. That passed by quickly because we were talking.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
You kind of got the
questions?
ones I was gonna I covered. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So that about wraps up this segment. We will proceed with For the Souls, which will give us a little deeper insight on you and your family life.
All right, cool.
All right. All right. Welcome back. We're still with Albert. And this part of the podcast is going to be a little bit more of an intimate side of you and how you grew up and who you are. So we talked about boxing side of you, the reality TV side of you with Kylie, but who is Albert Ochoa besides all of that? Outside of all of this reputation that has been built around you being in the spotlight, who would you say you are?
You know, I would say, you know, I'm a good man, good soul. You know, that just wants good vibes around me at all times. But, you know, it's hard to do that when a lot of negativity comes your way.
Yeah. Do you feel like handling that negativity has been challenging for you?
I think at first, you know, but I think, you know, as you grow older and you get mentally stronger and emotionally stronger and you get confident in yourself, it doesn't affect you.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
So let's go back to your childhood.
Okay.
You got siblings?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
How many?
So there's technically 6 of us.
Oh, big family.
Yeah. Well, my dad had 4 baby mamas. So, but he
Busy man.
Yeah.
Your
So,
dad's
but
five in the back.
he married my mom, and it was me and my sister.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what was that like? You're a Sacramento native, right?
Yeah.
You're born and raised
born
here.
and raised, yeah.
North, south, west.
South Sac.
South
Yeah,
Sac.
South
Sac,
Sac,
baby.
Iraq.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
South
Yeah.
Sac, baby.
Yeah.
And what was that? What was that like for you?
I mean, it was great. You know, I mean, you know, growing up, and then obviously my parents got divorced.
Mhm.
And then I was living with my mother. You know, I was a kid, you know, everything was dealt with my father and my mom. So living with my mom, you know, it was, you know, it was cool. You know, she raised me pretty well, I would say. And then, you know, it was good. You know, it was fun. You know, we were raised over there actually by Sac State, like
Oh,
American
okay.
River
Oh,
over
yeah, yeah.
there. Great area. Got to learn, you know, what's that side like.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
How old were you when your parents got divorced?
I think like 6 or 7.
Experiencing the divorce, do you feel like that affected you in any way?
I mean, I think so. I mean, it affects any child, in my opinion. But for me, yeah, it did. But at the end of the day, I don't hold grudges.
Yeah.
You know, between my dad and my mom, I love them both. I would never talk bad about anybody. You know, it just made me who I am.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. Because those challenges, I ask because there's, you know, different ages that children experience, like divorced parents, I feel like affects them in different ways. And I find that when children whose parents divorce when they're younger, it almost is less impactful as children whose parents divorced when they were like older.
Yeah.
You know, and I think maybe that time of, you know, having the togetherness and then all of a sudden it's not, it takes more of a toll. So that's why I asked. But I'm glad to see that you and your parents are still able to have, you know, a good relationship throughout all of that.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, it was great. And then I always felt like I was different, though. You know, when I was a kid, I knew I couldn't relate to any of these kids.
In what sense?
Just in general, the mindsets, you know, what people thought was cool, what people thought to wear, to fit in. I never wanted to fit in. And it was like that from when I was a kid. But it really clicked. I think I was like 16, but when 17, obviously when things got popped off, but it was when I was 16, I knew I was different.
Yeah.
Like I knew, and then as a kid, I just knew I couldn't relate to any of these kids.
Yeah. No, you're
Little
good.
pause. But yeah, like as growing up, I knew I was just different. Like I
Yeah.
knew I didn't act like all these kids. I knew I didn't I'm judging, but I just didn't want to act like
Yeah, something in you is different. No, I relate to that
Yeah.
because I feel like there's it's funny that you say that because literally just the other day I was thinking to myself, I notice with me that I tend to like if I see something is trending or like how people are, I tend to like not want to do that, right?
Yeah.
Which something stupid, but the Stanley Cups. You know, everybody and their freaking mom has a Stanley Cup right now.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm like,
the
yep,
Starbucks, right?
don't get a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something about going against the grain and not fitting in with the crowd and not even wanting to be in that same wave.
Yeah.
I relate to you in the sense I just knew I was different in that sense.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you had confidence knowing that you were different, or did you feel out of place?
I was very confident. I remember, you know, I was sitting at lunch by myself as a kid, and even in high school, even after everything, I was still sitting by myself because I knew I didn't need to be around 100 people to feel important. You know,
Yeah.
I knew me sitting by myself and being happy with myself, I'm still important in a humble way.
Yeah.
So
Did you crave that connection though with people?
I mean, I connected with more of my teachers, you know, and the counselors and the people that were older than me, you know, like my friend group now are, you know, they're like 35, you know, and 38, my two best friends and my mentors and stuff like that, people I look up to. You know, I don't hang out with no one my age. I never dated anyone my age. It's been like that since.
You've dated people older?
Yeah, I tend to attract older women. So I mean, the last one, she was 35. So
wow.
Yeah.
What? No, I'm putting that into perspective. I'm like, wait, I'm 28, and you're like 23.
24 now.
24?
Yeah. But my opinion on that stuff is like, because I met 35-year-olds, I met 40-year-olds, even girls and guys that don't have their shit together.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You know, and then you meet 25-year-olds or even 21-year-olds that are driving Lamborghinis that are having their whole life together, you know? So it doesn't matter what age you are. I think it's about mindset and what you do with your life.
Yeah, and maturity goes a long way.
Exactly.
And if you've always been the type of person to be more on the mature side and kind of like that old soul that just naturally connects with older people, it makes sense that you would naturally be drawn to a more mature mind.
Yeah. That's a good word. Yeah.
Can you notably see the difference between older women and younger women?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, most of the time, older women are more mature. Most of the time,
they know what they want.
Exactly.
No bullshit.
The younger generation, which is my generation, which I don't like, you know, it's the hookup culture. It's sleeping around. It's partying every weekend, spending the money you have already every Friday night to film porn at a club.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to go to a club to film porn. Like, I'm already important.
Yeah.
And I know that within myself.
Yeah. And we spoke earlier about you having traditional values.
Yeah.
You've always been that way?
Yeah, I've always been that way. I always wanted to, you know, get married, have kids, stay with one woman, you know, have a family, have a big home, you know, and keep expanding on that. I want to have a big family. I want to have at least 6 kids.
Yeah. You know what? We wanted 6 kids too. Oh, wow, and then we had 4 and we were like, maybe con 4 ya está, because
well, that's cool though. That's good. Yeah.
Our last one is like having 2 more kids.
Yeah.
But I really hope that does come
you know,
true
if
for
it doesn't
you.
go with the 6, but no, I'm very traditional. You know, I want one woman. I don't need 10.
Yeah, I will say I genuinely sometimes feel for you guys in this generation of dating, dude, because
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Everyone knows everyone. I've met people that like they've been with one person, right? And then I would meet them. I was like, hey, wasn't that person with you? Oh, now they're with your friend. Oh, I don't care. I'm like, you don't care. Aren't you guys friends? Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. It's really, really hard to find people with traditional values nowadays. They want what you want, right? They want the family and want the kids, or even just a wife. I'm guessing if you're more traditional, you probably want a woman that has a little bit more traditional values.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
you know, in terms of her mothering and partner.
And act like a woman. A lot of women act like men now these days. Not disrespecting anyone, but a lot of women are very manly and more masculine.
Yeah.
And a lot of men are very not manly anymore, and they're very feminine. So that's a big problem too in this world. And for me, it's like I need a woman that's going to be a woman. I'll be the man, you be the woman.
You hear that, ladies?
So that's no, and it's important. I'll be the man. I'll do whatever I need to do as the man, and you do your part as a woman, and you know that's how a team creates.
Yep, I agree. I will say that healthy balance of the two is very conducive to a healthy environment. I mean, me and my husband have been together 11 years.
Oh wow!
And
dang, what's the secret?
Comprehension. I would say the secret to that is, one, I think he honors, just like how you are, that you honor your masculinity and you know what you need to do as a man to provide. He's traditional in that sense. I'm traditional in the sense that as a woman, I know that me being feminine and having this emotional intelligence is actually a strong suit. It's a power when you pair it together.
Exactly.
We're not above the other. Like I like to say, you know, he's $1, I'm 4 quarters. We're equal in value,
so you
but
guys
different.
both understand.
Yeah. And just learning each other, right? That's the hardest part, because longevity, you're gonna change.
Oh,
Who you were 3 years ago, you're not that person today. 5 years, you know. So being able to, you know, communicate and comprehend and challenge each other to growth together through those times, it's been, you know, and God first.
Yeah, of course.
First and foremost, before all of that, God first. Like we learned that the hard way. It took us a long time. That's great
you said that, because a lot of relationships they lose track of themselves, and then they get away from God, and then that's just the relationship's gonna fail.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's double back to your younger years. So you grew up, you experienced, you know, the family divorcing. You get to your adolescence, and how were you in your adolescence?
You know, I grew up playing basketball. That's what I was doing every single day after school, before school. You know, I knew I wanted to be an athlete. I knew I wanted to play basketball. That's all I wanted to do. And then I was very involved in church, obviously, with that, with the youth groups and stuff. So I mean, it was like that. It was church on Wednesday, church on Sunday, and then whatever on the weekend, for the church, we would be there, and I'd play basketball there, be involved, and I mean, that was kind of like that. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, we went to Capital Christian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, majority of my life. So, yeah, that was kind of my childhood, just basketball, and and stay focused. I was always focused. I was, like I love my sister, but I feel like we're very different. I want this life that's the extraordinary life. She wants the life that's more the normal route, and that's fine if you want to be normal. But for me, I was never meant to be normal. I don't want to be normal.
Yeah, you're destined for something greater.
Exactly. I want to travel the world. I want to do extraordinary things. Not saying the normal life is different and bad. It's not. But for me, I'm not meant to just be an average man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I would imagine that being from Sacramento, and we spoke a little bit earlier about the animosity that kind of happens around here. Instead of the networking and collaborating, it can be challenging to navigate through all of that in terms of like knowing what you are capable of, and then having those challenges in front of you of like people that just are not seeing the vision the way that you see it. Has it been hard for you to go through that with people?
Yeah, of course. I've had a lot of people switch up on me, from, friends to relationships to women, to mentors, to people I really looked up to.
Yeah.
But
switch up on you in what sense?
Just switching up as in they're reflecting on themselves, saying I'm the bad person.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm not a bad person. I don't have intentions to hurt anybody. But there are people that have that intention and hidden agendas that you'll never know.
Yeah.
I just found out someone really close to me switched up on me recently.
Yeah.
And we've been working together, so it kind of sucks, but I can't let it affect me, because at the end of the day, I have stuff to do. And what am I going to do? Cry about it? Or I got to get to work. So I got to get to work and do what I need to do.
Yeah. But saying that it doesn't affect you, it doesn't even give you any anger?
No, I've never been really angry, I think, at someone. I think I've been hurt. I've been, I would say, in maybe a little bit of sadness, but I wouldn't say angry. But at the end of the day, I can't think on emotion.
Yeah.
As a man and as a high value man, I can't think on emotion. I have to think on what I need to do.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to care. No one's going to care if I'm hurt or sad right now.
Yeah. And that's honestly the reality of what you men have to go through. As a woman, I think it's a little bit different. Like I've gone through the motions of people that have switched up on me. And I'm just like, initially I'm like angry, because I'm like, oh, are you fucking for real?
Yeah.
Like, come on, me of all fucking people, I'm so freaking understanding, And then your heart and how you are, that it's kind of like, it's then that's when the hurt comes in, and you're just like, wow, I was so real. Exactly. And I really was sincere with this, only for this to happen. So,
and a lot of people will come back into your life or try to crawl way back, and I've seen that a lot. A lot of people try to crawl their way back into my life, and it's like, no, you had your opportunity, you switched up on me, and now what? I'm supposed to give myself to you? No.
Yeah. Well, good for you for having boundaries.
Yeah.
And
I think that just came with time, maturity, growth. So.
Yeah. What would you say the most challenging part of your life has been?
The most challenging?
Yeah.
I think with just being different. When you go this route and you are different, it's not the normal way, So everyone's gonna look at you like crazy, or you're dumb, or you don't know what you're doing. But it's like, I mean, I wouldn't even say that was a big challenge though. It's like I love it. I love people counting me out.
Yeah, it's gas to make you keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you with that.
Of course. So, and then now look at everything I'm doing. I'm doing everything so different.
Yeah.
Now I'm boxing. Now people are paying attention. I didn't grow up boxing. Now I am, and I love this sport.
Yeah, and to be able to do that in such a short amount of time, too. I really have never, usually when I've heard of stories of boxers, they're like, oh, yeah, since I was a kid, or I used to be in this gym when I was little. But this is fairly new.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years.
It'd be 3 years in October.
Yeah.
And I already, I've worked with the best. I've seen the best. I've Canelo, a lot of high quality guys, trainers of the year, world champions working with. So it's like, who else has done that? Nobody. Yeah. Nobody has done that in Sacramento.
Yeah. Do you feel good to be able to represent Sacramento in that way?
Oh, I do. Of course. I love it because it's where I'm from. This is where I've home. And it's just funny to me how everyone wants to talk mess about me because I'm not a real fighter. People say these things, right? But it's like, dude, how am I not a real fighter? I'm doing everything you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not my fault that
why
I do it a little bit better.
Why would people say that?
Because, I mean, it's just the insecurities and jealousy. A lot of people, they do it their whole life. So I do understand it in a way. But it's like, dude, we're all grown men. Why do I need to talk about you?
Yeah.
But you want to talk about me, But
do you think it's because you came in the game quickly and you've advanced so far that people feel like their hard work that they've been doing for years is kind of like, damn, I've been putting in all this work for years and I'm not at where he is, or maybe you just got there faster than them and that creates animosity?
Yeah, of course. That's going to create a little bit of animosity. But the thing is like I had to make people want to see me. No one paid attention to me when I first went to the gym. I was fat. No one cared. They thought I was going to not do well, but I saw the vision of what I could do. Now, fast forward 2 years later, it's been really fast progression. But I've always saw the vision. I knew I could turn this into a career. I know I can, do this for my family, my future family. Like I knew what I could do.
And you said future family, so you're thinking even generationally down
Oh,
the
for
line.
sure. Yeah, of course. I would love to have a son or a daughter, preferably a son. But no, I want a daughter too.
Yeah, well, you want 6 kids, so
Yeah, 6. I think I can have some.
You might have
mixture.
multiple.
Yeah, I'll have a mixture of both. But, I think this sport is what I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
This sport's changed my life, so it can also change my family. It can also change my future family, my future wife. And I'm having fun. You travel the world doing something I love, so yeah.
I know you mentioned being fat.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were insecure with yourself at that time, or even then you had this confidence
Well,
to you?
honestly, I didn't know. So I got in a relationship, and I kind of lost focus on myself.
The happy weight?
Yeah, I guess in a happy way. But the thing is, I got comfortable with myself. I never got comfortable. As a man, you're never supposed to be comfortable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I did. I gained weight. I was eating out. I wasn't taking care of my responsibilities, taking care of my health. You get complacent. So fast forward now, when I joined the sport, all that weight was coming off, and it was hard to do.
Do you feel like you can tell the mental difference? Like, do you have more of a mental clarity now that you're more focused and disciplined?
Oh, for sure.
In your health?
Yeah, of course. A quote health is wealth. I feel like, if you could take care of your body, you could take care of $1 million. It's very true. People that don't have their health, that's the most important thing. So how can you take care of something else if you can't even take care of your health?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's very cool to see how focused you are with your vision and what you want. You seem like a very determined person.
Thank you. I am. And a lot of people sometimes don't see it. Some people do. But I really am determined, and I think that's what separates myself from the rest.
Do you think people interpret that as being cocky sometimes?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, people think I'm cocky and arrogant and everything. But the thing is, those are the insecure people that say that. The confident people that know me, they're like, dude, you're very confident. You're very humble. They see it and respect it. And they respect it. And I can see that too. I can feel that guy's energy that's very confident, that's happy with himself. But then when you see a broken, immature boy that's adult, they're like insecure, they're jealous. It's like, dude, why are you thinking like that? I've never even looked down on you, but you're looking down on me.
Yeah, isn't it interesting to be able to read people like that?
Oh, for sure.
I've come across people like that too, like just being a girl.
You know, read people. You feel their energy.
Yeah, you walk into a room and a woman who's secure with herself will see me, and we're like, it's a vibe, you know? And then the women that aren't, and are just easily, quickly.
And they think you can't tell.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're weird. Why are they acting? Bro, look how you're acting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, energy very much speaks for itself.
Oh, exactly.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So would you say that even with family, you were like a lone wolf in terms of who you are? Because I know you mentioned that, you love your sister, but you guys weren't necessarily as close because you guys are very different?
I think so. It sucks, but I love my family. I would do anything for my family. But at the end of the day, like, I want to go this route, and if you want to go that route, that's totally fine. That's why we're different. And, at the end of the day, it's like, I love my family, but I can't base my actions and what I need to do off emotion.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a big family, too, like, outside of your immediate family? Like, do you have a lot of family
here in
Sacramento?
Oh, for sure, yeah. My grandma has, like, I think 10 brothers and sisters.
Oh, shoot.
And then there's, like, over 100 cousins and everything. Yeah, so it's a very big family on my dad's side, and even on my mom's side, too.
Seems to be a Mexican thing. My great-grandma has 13 kids.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
so it's very similar.
Yeah, we've lost quite a few, but, yeah, it's a pretty big family when we all get together. But I'm not really close with anybody like that, maybe when we were younger, but now as adults, I think you just grow, you try to find your avenue, and you know what you're set on, where you're going. And sometimes along that way, it's just, it's hard to build those bonds.
And it sucks, it does hurt. It does. I wish I could be closer with my siblings. I really do. But at the end of the day, I have stuff I need to take care of, and that's that. No one's going to do my work for me. You know? So.
Well, as long as you make effort.
Of course, effort, with everything, and if they don't understand, that's okay. I realize not everyone's gonna understand you, and that's okay. Yeah. But don't judge me on what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you're coming to terms with that. You're just at this place in your life. Yeah, I call that a growing pain.
Yeah.
And you know what? I find that a lot of people who are reaching for this level of success in their life, or just determined, in the sense that we are, me with the podcasting, you with your boxing.
Oh, for sure.
Part of the growing pains is losing some of the people that I don't want to say losing, but maybe growing distant from people that you would otherwise wish you weren't, you know?
Sure, yeah.
But it's almost the cost of success. And not even
every successful person will tell you that.
Yeah, and not even because it's like how do I say this? It's not like from an entitled or cocky
Yeah, or a
perspective,
negative
but
way,
rather
yeah.
just it comes with the process.
does,
Like the
it
people
does.
who are for you and they'll be with you, and then the ones who don't
They
eventually
shed leaves.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people switch up on me, and I knew they weren't the right, like, through when I looking back in it, they weren't really there for me.
Yeah.
If they were, they would still be here.
Yeah, in hindsight, do you see things that you're like, oof, I overlooked this or I overlooked that?
Yeah, because I think, I'm a good person, so I always trust people super fast, and that's my problem. I tend to give my love and attention to, to anyone. I don't look at anyone bad.
Yeah.
Even if someone's like, hey, they're not good for you, I still won't listen.
You want to figure out for yourself.
Yeah, and that's a problem. But, I mean, that's just how I am.
Do you feel like going through those betrayals, it changed your dynamic and how you trust people?
In a way, but it's like at the end of the day, I'm still a good person. I still want to see the good in someone.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think there's going to be more people that's going to switch up on me, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Obviously I've just got to keep going.
I think it comes with the territory of being a good person. Honestly, I think I've come to terms with the fact that more often than not, we're probably going to lose in certain areas because we're genuine in that sense.
Yeah.
And I was saying that I don't trust nobody.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Okay.
But I put my faith in everybody.
That's good.
I
like
put
that.
faith that people will do right by me, but to say that I trust is too equivalent to having an expectation.
Yeah.
And I've learned that having expectations of people is the quickest way to let yourself down.
Yeah.
Because can't expect you and anyone else,
Yeah.
So
I like that. I mean, that's true what you're saying. So.
Yeah. And you're learning that. You've learned that. Wow. That's awesome. So what else do people not know about you that you want to share?
What else?
What else? Is there anything that you haven't showcased for yourself about yourself? You like animals?
No, I didn't really have pets growing up.
Would you want pets?
I do actually. I always told myself when I get to a certain level of success, I want a baby tiger. I always said
Oh
that.
my
But
God.
those are illegal, obviously. You can't do that. But I like the...
Do you know how much work a tiger is?
Yeah, but they're so cute when they're like a little baby.
When they're a baby and then they're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
rip your head off
Yeah,
when
then
they're
you have
older.
to get rid of it. But
Why
I
not a
always wanted baby
monkey?
tiger. I do like monkeys too, but I want a baby tiger. That's always what I want. But I saw there's cats that have a Bengal species in them, so I like the Bengal cats. They're exotic, they're different. So that's probably what I want. But then I found out when I wanted to get one, they were like, hey, you need to get it steak every day. I'm like, dang, they're going to be eating better than me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Those cats. There's another one, too,
Yeah.
babe. What's the cat that I like? The Jack something. It's it's a domesticated cat, but
Yeah.
it looks like it would be a fucking... like a not domesticated
Yeah,
cat.
yeah,
It's huge,
yeah.
But you got to feed them a raw
Yeah,
diet.
I'm like,
it's a
dang,
lot.
like steak every night. They're like, yes. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. Like I don't even eat steak every night.
Yeah,
So,
high protein diet.
Yeah, no, literally. But eventually I'll probably get one. I know I can get one right now, but I'm
Don't
worried.
get it.
I'm
Don't
too
get a
focused on
tiger
myself.
right now.
Well, no, the Bengal cat. The
Oh,
Bengal,
okay, I was
it's like a Bengal mixed with something,
Yeah.
so it's like still
Yeah, I
exotic,
know which ones.
but it's like I can't get a tiger, so it's like Bengal's like the next thing up.
They're expensive too.
Yeah, they are.
The like white ones, those are my favorite.
The white ones.
Yeah,
the
because
white
they
ones
look
are-
kind of
yeah, I like the
angelic.
white-
You
yeah.
know, it's like ooh,
Long tail and
yes,
then the pattern on them.
yes, and it's a little different. The colorway is a little different. You know, and
Yeah.
I like to be different.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. No, literally, I like the
Don't
white
take
ones.
my cat. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
So
No, well, that's really good. Well, I think that wraps up this. Unless there's anything more about yourself that you want to share, or any adversity that you've experienced, or any wisdom actually that you have for anybody before we close it out.
I mean, wisdom, I would say just, be yourself. Not everyone's going to like you. That's okay. Keep doing you and always believe in yourself no matter what.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And one more thing. What's the biggest lesson you've learned out of life?
biggest lesson, that's a tough one. I've learned a lot. The biggest lesson.
Top 3 most valuable.
I would say, be yourself. I've learned that from a young age. Always be yourself and everything's going to be okay. Always believe in yourself. I mean, everything comes from you. So, if you're happy with yourself, everything's going to be okay. So.
Yeah.
And I would recommend that for anybody. Anyone that was bullied, anyone that's, feeling a type of way, sadness or depressed, be yourself and everything's going to be okay and continue to work on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to add on to that, I would say that, you are what you project.
Exactly.
Everything in life is a mirror of you.
Yeah.
So what you are putting out, you are receiving back.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like what you're receiving, then you got to change what's in the mirror, right?
Exactly.
Perfect.
So.
Well, Albert, thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining
This was fun.
and being here.
Yeah,
Yes.
this was really fun.
We can always do it again whenever.
Yeah, we
Thank
need
you.
to.
Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. I hope that you guys got to see a deeper side of him and really just get to know him better and his personality. Seems like you're a soul who's misunderstood by many, but now you got the opportunity to platform that side of yourself. and I wish you all the well in your boxing career.
Likewise, vice versa.
Thank you so much, and thank you. You have a wonderful night.
You too.
All right, you guys. Bye-bye.